Happy Saturday. Today we're going to be making a roasted winter squash soup. You can either use a butternut squash, which I've used today, or you can use a Hubbard squash, which is a blue squash you'll see in the store sometimes. The recipe is here for you, so you can have a copy of the recipe as we go along. What I did earlier is I took the butternut squash and I cut it in half and scooped out the seeds. I put it in a sheet pan or whatever pan you have that'll fit in with about an inch of water, and I let it roast for 1 hour, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how your oven runs. I have a convection oven, so mine tends to run a little quicker, but it was about 45 minutes. So that we're gonna take this out of the flesh out of the skin so that we can let this cool while we make the rest of the soup. So we're just gonna peel it out of here so it can cool. And I got most of the seeds out. I don't think I have any. And you can usually get them afterwards because when they roast, they become white, so you'll know what's the skin and, you know, what's the seed and what isn't the seed. So, and then we'll put our other half in. You can see the roasting marks on there. I don't want to get any of the skin into there, so I'm being very careful to take this out. So try to peel it out instead of just pulling it. All right. So while let me put my pan on, and I'm going to put a tablespoon of or 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my soup pot while I'm peeling the rest of this. 1, 2. All right. And then I'm going to turn it on medium high while that's cooking. I'll keep finishing this. This will be done in a second. And then this will cool while we're making the rest of the soup. It's a great day for soup. It's a nice, well, up here it's a nice day for soup. It's cool. Okay. And that's all skin. We're just going to leave that aside. Okay. Move this out of the way, and we'll put the squash over to the side to cool. We're going to next we're going to get our onions, which I have a large white onion. And then I have the carrots. I have 2 carrots. The organic ones sometimes tend to be smaller, so I added a 3rd one in today. They're peeled and cut. And then I have celery. Same thing with organic celery. It tends to be smaller, so I put in an extra stock. It called for 2. I put in 3. So we're going to put that in the oil. Let the oil heat up for a minute, and then add your onion, your carrots, and your celery. And then we're going to let that start to render out. We're going to let that cook about 3 minutes. And I'm going to give it a stir to coat it with the olive oil. So we'll let that cook about 3 minutes. Celery, your carrots, and your onion have been cooking about 3 minutes. You can see the onions are getting translucent. I'm going to add my garlic for 30 seconds, and we're going to stir that for 30 seconds and get that all incorporated into the soup. And then I'm going to get my salt. Got about a teaspoon of salt, the Himalayan sea salt. Put that on top. And my pepper, about a half a teaspoon. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of ginger. That's about a teaspoon. And we're going to give that a stir. You can smell the cinnamon in there. It's wonderful, especially with a squash soup. Cinnamon always goes well with that. Okay, now I'm going to add my stock. We have 6 cups of vegetable stock, which we're going to put in there. There we go. Give it a little stir. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then turn it down when it comes to a boil and let it cook for another 15 minutes. The soup is cooked for 15 minutes. Now we're going to take our cooled butternut squash, add it to the pot, and then we're going to give it a stir. So it all gets the flavors melded in with it. And then we're going to cook it for another 15 minutes. And then I'm going to put it through the immersion blender when we get back. Well, we're back and it's been another 15 minutes. This is what the soup looks like. I'm going to use my immersion blender, excuse me. Or you can use your food processor. Just be careful because it's very hot. Soup is now all smooth. We're going to take it and just serve it into a nice bowl. And if you like, you can add sour cream to it if you want. I tend to like a little crunch, so I'd either add salted pepitas or sunflower seeds and just put it right in the middle. Gives you that little crunch texture. Hope you enjoy. Have a wonderful day. See you on Wednesday.